Well, about 4,000 restaurants in Ohio were forced to shut down permanently because of the pandemic. Think about that number for a second. 4,000 in the state of Ohio. For perspective, on average, that's 45 restaurants per county statewide that are gone. Many that have reopened have had to cut hours because they just can't find enough employees. But one restaurant with a storied history has survived it all, in part by breaking with tradition. Here's consumer investigator Danielle Serino.
If the owners of Pickle Bill's Lobster House learned anything during their 54 years in business, it's how to deal with adversity.
My husband, who passed away recently, he was a fighter, and he continued to do what he thought was best for the restaurant.
In 1967, Jerry Powell opened Pickle Bills in the Flats, one of the first restaurants there. Named after W.C. Fields, the W standing for William, which was shortened to Bill, the seafood spot featured silent films, many of them Fields, live music and shows. But 15 years in, began a string of misfortunes that nearly sunk them. First, bankruptcy, which is why they closed in the Flats and reopened in Grand River. A fire labeled as arson, and their attached barge, which had 60 seats in a bar, floated away, get this, 3 times.
With the liquor and the kitchen on it. It ended up in Erie one year. One year it ended up at the Perry nuclear plant. And one year it ended up at the bottom of Lake Erie.
They survived it all, drawing in loyal customers with their all-you-can-eat menu.
It's such a huge part of the community and people from all over. You know, I have friends from all over the country that knows and it asks.
Then the pandemic hit. Jerry died in the middle of it, forcing Mary Ann to steer the ship, trying to keep a nearly 500-seat restaurant afloat with very few customers and one of their most popular food items, crab legs, unavailable.
There were a lot of boats that had COVID-positive fishermen. So they had less fishermen, and there were COVID-positive people in the packing plants. So they weren't able to catch as much as they normally do.
So for the first time ever, the restaurant added takeout and delivery, supported by their longtime patrons like Colleen Brown, who's been going there for as long as she can remember.
We were able to have some good family time still and enjoy all the delicious food and all their specials and, you know, during Mardi Gras and Lent.
That, combined with people who felt they could safely spread out in that 17,000-foot space, proved to Mary Ann she and Pickle Bills could weather any storm.
I'm at the helm of the destroyer, and I'm going to continue with Pickle Bills as long as I'm lucky enough to be able to do that.
And customers are pickled pink. Danielle Serino, 3 News.